main thing. How is it growing up being the son of Eazy-E?
Oh man, it has its ups and downs, you know what I mean. But as you get mature, you live all in life. It's a blessing, you know what I mean. Again, like you touch on God, and I'm deep into my faith, so you know what I mean. And that comes with growth. That comes with maturity.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It comes with trial and errors in life and understanding how did I get through these things, and it only was God that got me through it. So when you look at it, one thing that I tell people and individuals that follow me is know how much I'm into it to where I touch on the scripture, I will take care of the motherless and the fatherless. So I feel like, the tough stuff in my life, was only a reflection to sit here and kind of form me into the man I was and give me wisdom to understand the things that I had went through to appreciate them as I got older. So being his son, it was tough. Of course, everybody knows my story. Losing him at 10 years old, burying him. We buried him 30 years, 3 days, 2 days, 3 days ago was 30 years since we buried my father. You know what I mean? What, say about 10 days ago was 30 years since he passed, which is March 26th. So April 7th is EV Day in Compton, and we buried him April 7th. I turned 11 April 23rd. So it was tough life outside of just understanding, knowing that I'm growing up in Compton, California, which everybody has a familiarity with how, my city is. And us as African Americans, we don't get what you would think the quote unquote typical normal kid who goes through something who has a high profile father. So you turn on the news, you turn on the radio, you turn on this. It's always reminds you, what happened to him at that point in time because he was so big. So we didn't have therapy. We didn't have nobody to come and mend us, you know what I'm saying, of going through that or losing that. Or any of my homeboys in Compton, California. If their father went to jail, their father got shot in drive-by, these kids had to, of all of us, had to sit here and learn to figure it out, and continuously on that boat in life, just go for it. Nobody is really sitting here saying, hey, look at the trauma that child is going through. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let's talk to him, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I mean? The counselor in schools go and sit here, give him to a program where he can go and talk to somebody, quote unquote, a therapist, to ease that pain. We didn't have that. Mine was my grandparents, his mother and father. And as like I said, I got older, I appreciate what they did and how they were because they grew me to the man I was today. And again, like I said, it was tough. Yeah, being youthful, really hard. And then as you get older, you know what I mean, you kind of get into the teenage years and you kind of battle of, do I want to be known as that person or do I want to shed away from it because of the fact of, the hardship that it still haunts on you as you became a young man. Not only that is, quote unquote, you passed away from HIV and AIDS to the world. So now when you want to sit here and you want to go get yourself a first piece of tail, you to in my nature, you have individuals and I look at it like, are you safe? Oh,
Stupidity.
yeah, like here comes that elephant in the room, and you're like, whoa, huh? What do you mean by that? And again, as you're young, it hurts. You don't understand. You want to say rage out. You want to do this. But as you get mature, you got to really, as I got older as a man, you look back on it because really at the time when the girl said it, kind of hurt me to where I'm like, oh, like, you bringing this up, here come a tear, here come crocodile tears.
Mhm.
And then when she understands that she feels that, she feels hurt. And well, I just want to be safe. I didn't say I didn't want to do it with you.
Mhm.
I just want to be safe. And you dawn on that. I can't do nothing but respect that.
That's deep.
You know what I mean? I cannot do nothing but respect that. So, and that's as a teenage time to where you kind of like, she reminded you of what my childhood was 6, 7 years ago, of going through all of this and trying to run from it. And then I had the transition of going to a school and nobody knew who I was. And then playing football and something that hit to me was like, I'm representing who I am. You know what I mean? My father is who he is. And, you know what I mean? This is what, I want to represent. And I'm proud of who he is after, what I'm saying, coming into a man and then, you kind of living life, want to represent, like, hey, I'm Eric Wright Jr. You know what I mean? So again, it had its roller coasters of ups and downs. But as you got mature, it's like, it's nothing better, of it to say or have the father that I had You have your times where you look at it like, man, I wish my pops was a post office worker, you know what I'm saying, or this, that, and the other, why, so I can have them in my life. You know what I mean? See my kids, see my son, everybody's third, you know what I'm saying? You be born and grow up. So you go through that, but you look at it, it's like, hey, despite of what happened and everything, despite of all of the trauma and turmoil of his legacy, of his estate, of, you know, how we are out here, you know, and he was probably lying at the time. I'm still in Compton, California, not in the hills somewhere. You know what I mean? He's like, I still left something for you. You know what I mean? And, you know, I kind of like just took it and still ran with it to be able to sit here and provide for my family. And it's like, man, you know, God made it all right to where you know, I was wise enough to know you left something for me to sit here and pave a way for myself or even carry on what legacy that you left on so I can go that route. You know what I mean? So in a nutshell, it can be like this book on the table. It's like it has its hurtful moments, it has its growing pains, it has its joy, you feel what I'm saying? And then to this point now, it's like being able to get a branding for them, you know, a street name after them, you know what I'm saying? A entertainment square that I'm working on now, a foundation after I'm giving back to my city, giving the keys to the city and a recognition from the city for having the Eric White Foundation and doing what I do for inner city kids that are underprivileged or lost a parent. You know what I mean? Here comes the, you know what I mean, the accolades of, you know what I mean, you know, being who he is and the hard work that I sat here and strive to do to represent this name. And it's like, hey, here goes a celebration of it. So again, it got its ups and downs, ins and outs all around.
Yo, everything you just said was so powerful. And you're very smart.
Oh, I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? No, seriously. You know what I'm saying? You're very smart and you're very educated. And you just said that very well. And there's so much that you said I want to talk about in that. Do you know that, for one, your dad was, I know he was like almost a father to a whole lot of people.
I said, get 'em, get 'em, get 'em. I'm gonna get 'em, hit 'em, get 'em. I said, how can a posse be this hostile? With no home training, you know I'll pop you. Stop your breathing and close your nostrils. Plot your death while I read the gospels. You're a hassle, you dirty rascal. You wanna wrestle, what's about the tassel? My cerebral, see no evil. You can't be a boss if you're weak and feeble. See, Sean Bigga, I'm bona fide. And you just born a fly. Said he had strengths on him rely. Picture that I then replied. The world is dark, it's just a matrix. My light will shine, I am the greatest. I said he's chicken, shit's kebab. Try to play me, this to God. In debate on what the profit is. As I squeeze esophagus. Get 'em, get 'em, get 'em. I'm gonna get 'em.